trading is so much more about mentality and stuff than it is everything else. Because if you get into emotional traps and you set them yourselves, and the reason I say that, emotions aren't bricks that come out of the sky and hit you. You call for them. There's a process to get every emotion that you come to. Each and every single emotion that you men will experience in trading come from some process that you do to equal where you're at. And so, without getting into a huge NLP thing, but it's like you either feel something, like in your gut, your tiny toe, somewhere, you see something in your brain, or you say something to yourself. And so those are the three areas that and there's a process. There can be 1 to like 25. Usually most processes are between 6 and 12. So for instance, like me blowing up at my kids, I'll give this example real quick. So my kids, for me to blow up at my house, because my house gets very messy, even with a beautiful wife that does so much for me, and even with a house cleaner and the good job they do, my house gets trashed. I have 3 kids who play a lot. They have a lot of stuff, so they really play a lot. And that's what they're supposed to do because they're kids. But, you know what I mean? You walk in the house, wavering, long day, you know what I mean? Just whatever you're doing, even just trading, having a long day, whatever. You know what I mean? You walk in the house and it looks like, big popcorn. Yeah, tornado went through. You haven't even known yet.
Yeah.
You know already. It looks like a whirlwind came through. It looks like, there's a pack of wild animals that just attacked your house.
Yeah.
Stuff everywhere. I mean, just everywhere.
You're stepping on stuff, tripping.
So there's 2 ways that I handle that. For me to be pissed off, for this example though, so the first thing I do, I walk through the door. I'm like, my wife went on vacation. I'm working my ass off. This is what I say to myself. I'm working my ass off. And here my wife is just goofing off, letting the kids just run wild. It doesn't matter. She's been working her ass all day and just couldn't keep up. That's not what I say to myself. So first thing I say, man, I'm working my ass off. And this is what my family does to me. You know what I mean? I spend all this money, spend all this stuff doing all this stuff. So I say those things. And then when I'm saying those things, and instantaneously I feel my gut start to and then I get a picture of my kids laughing at me. They're like, this is going to be great, Dad. Screw Dad. And then I hear them saying that. It's like, screw that, Dad. They told me to keep cleaning up after myself. I'm going to go play anyway.
Yeah.
And that, of course, isn't what happens. But this is the process I have to trigger me going into a freaking temper tantrum, which I haven't done. When's the last time I did a good temper tantrum? You can tell on me.
I don't know. We usually just wait for you to yell and be complete, and then you're done.
Yeah.
It was probably when Isaiah threw your laptop in the car.
Okay, yeah. So my son just like, whoa, bam. I'm like, whew, it's a $1,200 laptop, man, plus tax and whatever the hell insurance it is. But, it's like, again, so the whole process. You don't care about my stuff, just chuck that shit right in there, twist my stomach. It's like, all right, I gotta have a moment. And I reacted poorly. But you know what I mean? Like, I trigger myself emotionally. And for every single emotion you have, but that's anger. That's anger and then acting out with a temper tantrum. Okay? So for every single emotion you have, though, there's a process. It doesn't always have to have an outcome of temper tantrum, but it can be outcome of having an emotion of sad. So to feel sad, all I got to think of is the worst thing that ever happened to me, or, I'll use your case, so specifically, you know what I mean? So it's like, say something yourself, remember how life used to be. And there's a process for you to feel sad and frustrated and depressed. And there's a process to get to that emotion. There's also, the happy emotion, you know what I mean? Watching your kid grow up, watching them succeed, watching them finally make it to university, and, you get this proud moment that you were a good dad. You just have that emotion of being satisfied and proud. You were a good man. You did something good in your life. And then for you, it's like, your selection and wife process. You feel good about your life, and, so you go back and remember meeting your wife, and you've let some really good ones get away, like you're talking about, but, you got a good one, and you kept her, and you decided to have a child with her, and she's happy because she's able to have, you guys are able to, spread seeds and be able to have children, and now the baby's growing up, and you're like, yeah, I made a good decision.
Yeah.
See, so there's a process. I say things to myself, I evaluate them through past examples, I get a feeling, and then equal something else. every single emotion is that. Say something yourself, get a feeling, or picture something in your mind. It's a sequence of 6 to 12 things that equal an emotion. So emotions are nothing more than a series of sequences of those 3 things. So back to thank you and sorry. So I thank everybody primarily because I want to have gratitude in every area of my life possible. You know what I mean? Under any circumstance or any kind of good, bad, or indifferent. It doesn't matter. I respond the same way. If I have shitty service, I thank them for giving me at least some service. It could always be worse. I used to not be able to go to restaurants because the service just would, how bad was it? It was pretty bad. I give like penny tips and stuff like that because I get so infuriated at the horrifying services that I get. So now if I get horrifying services, sometimes I just don't go back. Other times I just accept it and I just like, I'm thanking the people the whole time I'm there.
Well, don't come up to Canada because the service is even worse up there. I lived in Florida and the service was impeccable. And then my friends came up here and I say, it's just a different mentality up there. So.
It is like that, it's like that little here. It's definitely like that. Idaho is probably the worst place on earth. I mean, they smile. At least they smile. Like it's not like New York City. New York City, they give you bad service, and then what's your problem? Get the hell out if you don't like it. You know what I mean? So, it's great. It's even 5-star restaurants are like that.
Yeah.
And so the reason I say thank you though is always back to this. Gratitude is so freaking grounding. I want you guys as examples in a minute. But the thank you and the sorry thing, never sorry. Thank you. Thank you for tolerating my bad behavior. I say it to my children. I say it to my wife. Never sorry. Every
It's
time
a little narcissistic to never say that you're sorry.
it is a little narcissistic, but it's not grounded. It's not grounded in narcissism.
Try it.
It's acknowledging that it's about acknowledging that I did something wrong, and then I'm working on what I'm doing.
Right.
So it's not like sorry son, or thanks son, take it up the ass. No, it's thank you for tolerating my bad behavior and working on that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's not narcissistic behavior. But you are right to some degree. Some people do that because they are narcissists. But it's like thanking them, acknowledging you're wrong, and correcting it. Because if you say I'm sorry, it's like, you know what I mean? Like, how sorry are you? Really, when someone says they're sorry, I mean, how sorry are you? You know what I mean? It's begging them to attack you more. And it makes them uncomfortable too. I mean, seriously, do this as an experiment for a week. Don't say sorry, say thank you in its place. And if you do something stupid, acknowledge your stupidity in it. So thank you for tolerating my poor response or my poor communication. I'm working on it. Thank you for whatever. I'm working on it. Or thank you, thank you for realizing that, sometimes people just make mistakes.
Part of the advantage of saying thank you is you're actually complimenting the other person.
Yeah, for tolerance and
Love and patience.
patience.
So when you say sorry, they get angry. When you say thank you, you're complimenting them.
Yeah.
So it's not about them not getting angry. It's about making a bad situation the best as possible and trying to correct your actions. You can't take your damn actions back. And by inviting them to beat on you by saying I'm sorry, it doesn't help the situation any better. It makes them feel like they have to discipline you and either that's okay. Just don't let it happen again.
Yeah.
They have to have some kind of response to that. Reaction to it.
Right.
Versus thanking them for their tolerance or thanking
What are
them
you going to
for
say that you're not welcome? People are too polite, right? They're going to be like, oh, okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah, especially like I said, if you do something wrong. I mean, when I do it to my kids particularly, hey man, thank you for giving me my moment of being able to explode and express my frustration and realize it has nothing to do with you at all.
Thank you for understanding.
Thank you for understanding. Thank you for your patience. Thank you
a little hungry, a little hangry right now.
Yeah.
But it's true, man. I mean, I'm telling you, if you do this experiment for a week, it changes your life forever.
Oh, well.
I promise.
Well, there are certain people that I will not say I'm sorry to because they'll grab a hold of that and jump all over me.
Yep.
Well, and that's what everybody's doing. You're inviting them to do that. When you say, it's like, I'm sorry, now what?
Yeah. So it's a kind of a sign of weakness.
It is.
I don't know if it's weakness so much as it is again, it's like you're trying to get them to gratitude too. It's not just about, so it's like this whole mindset about gratitude isn't just like, I'm grateful. This is why I'm grateful. It's about spreading great gratitude around as much as you possibly can. And thank you is just one more example or way that you can actually apply that to life. You know what I mean? Thank you for your tolerance. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your support. Thanks for understanding. You know what I mean? And it's also it is admitting fault. I mean, it's not about deflecting the fault.
Mhm.
It's about realistically saying, I'm not perfect. I'm working on it. And then, like, you know, I mean, sometimes, like, if they're really close or if you've done something really stupid, thank you for understanding that I'm a human being, you know, that I'm human about it, and this is how I am working on it. That's a conversation versus just saying thank you for understanding. If it's someone that deserves a lot more than that, like a loved one or a child that you terrorize because of your anger or frustration, thanks, son. You know, I'm really working on, you know, thanks for understanding. I needed a moment. And I'm definitely working on that stuff because, you know, the laptop is not more important than you are. I can buy lots of laptops. You know, I feel like that you're abusing my stuff or don't care about my stuff, and that's probably not even the case. But thank you for, you know what I mean, like realizing I'm trying to get better and not blow up as often. And it's true. That's completely true. That was like an example from yesterday. My son also understands that, you know what I mean, men are allowed to have a moment. And I expect him to have moments too, and he does. And I'll beat him up for having a moment. Because we all need them.